Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're looking at the Handskit ST12A Soldering Station Extraordinaire. And a big keep on testing shout out to Banggood. Thanks so much for sending the ST12A in for this review. Woo-hoo-hoo! Definitely a good looking soldering station all around. Any way you look at it, Handskit did a nice job on the outside. Ships with one T12 tip. In this case, it's almost like a needle nose style. One tip, hey, you can pick these up on eBay, Amazon. Usually a pack of 4 is around 20 bucks US. Sometimes cheaper, but you can get pretty well any tip your heart desires. Once again, in this case, it only came with the one tip. It came as well with our nice little tip cleaner, a grounding wire, and AC power cord. Now in this case, they accidentally sent me a European style, but that's okay. It's a switching power supply, 110, 220. Has the standard AC receptacle in the back, so I just swapped it in for a standard plug. In case you're curious, the ST12A has 72 watts of power. So plenty of power, plenty of juice coming out of that tip for most soldering jobs. Supports AC 100 to 240 volts. And melting time, they say, is around 6 seconds. Now, I don't know if that's leaded or unleaded solder. We'll soon find out. Temperature range from 150 to 480 degrees Celsius. So once again, lots of different ranges depending on your soldering needs. On the back of the box, they're even giving us more info. Intelligent PID, auto shutdown and wake up. Yes, it wakes up automatically. We'll look at that as well in a minute. Quick heat up time, calibration, the temperature, so you can do self-calibration. They're saying it's made out of high quality materials and it's safe and stable. I sure hope so. It's a soldering iron. Handskit, a name pretty popular, probably more so on the European side than this side of the pond, but still nonetheless, they put out some pretty good stuff. Let's take a look at the reverse side of the unit, shall we? Here we have the back of that soldering iron holder right here. Of course, the on-off rocker switch. Here's our fuse access to replace the fuse if we blow it. Nice handy-dandy on the outside. Easily pops off just with your flat-tip screwdriver. Open it up like so. Pull out that fuse, replace it, put it back in, and you're good to go. As well, we have our AC outlet over here, and this is our, you guessed it, probably, grounding plug, like so. So yeah, good use of space here on the back of the unit. Now underneath completely we have 6 of those rubberized feet, giving it a little more stability when it's on the bench. And that's important because this is not a very heavy soldering station. It's plastic. It's plastic except for the innard part of the soldering iron holder. But the basic exterior of the unit is all plastic and it's pretty light. So you definitely want to have this to be, you know, stable. Now these T12 tips are so easy to replace. Just literally plug and play like that. Love it. Love it. Nice grip here. So you can actually, I think this would probably come down. Yeah, it does come down. So it'll cover the pen all the way. But really nice in the hand. What do we have? 72 watt model number 9501 from Handskit. And as well, to open it up, just give it a little twisty twirly like so. And yeah, look at that. Back of the unit here comes off completely. So really, really disassembles right down to the nitty gritty. And I think, yeah, I think we can even take this part off as well. Or can we? Yeah, we can. So there's our strain relief here. Nice, very nice. Okay, let's put it back together. Get down to some soldering business. Yeah, so that silicone sleeve rolls all the way up just to the tip here. So you have a lot of protection when you're soldering. Of course, we always want to make sure these units are grounded for safety's sake, just so you don't get any nasty zapparoonies. Let's just double check that, shall we? Yeah. We are grounded. Let's go ahead and put our little soldering iron cleaning ball in there. Just like so. Take a look at that connector for the soldering iron. We've got a 5-pin connector, and it just easily screws in. Easy breezy. Just like so, and you are good to go. Well, wouldn't you know it, all isn't so great in Handskit land. When you turn on the soldering station, yeah, you're getting this flashing error. So it's a bad thing, yeah. So after some investigating, it looks like the culprit is actually the wand, the soldering iron itself, as opposed to the base unit. Anyway, I spent enough time trying to fix it, so what I'm going to do is just replace the soldering iron that it came with, and I'm going to hook up another T12 from another vendor. I mean, it's the same darn iron, so... All right, and here we go. Turn it back on. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. Something like that. By the way, it's Christmas Eve here. Christmas Eve. Isn't that awesome? Oh, this video is going out on Christmas Day because I want you guys to celebrate with Keep On Testing. You know, because I'm always thinking of you guys. Hey, you're awesome. Thanks for supporting the channel. Always big thank you. Okay, here we go. Handskit is now back online. Look at that with that replacement soldering iron. Right on here. Put the same tip in that was in the original one from Handskit. I mean, these are hot swappable, those irons. You can pick them up for, I've seen them as cheap as 15 Canadian on Amazon with free shipping. So always a good idea, probably grab one or two just to have them as spares. But there we are, and we are ready for some soldering action. So Handskit claims a 6-second time for melting that solder. Let's check it out. Here we go. Turn the unit on. And as soon as it comes on, we're going to start counting. And it's on now. Heating up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that. 5 and 6. Yeah, not even 6 seconds. Good job. That was fast. That was about 4 seconds. Ooh, what am I going to do with all this solder? Ah. When you turn the unit on, right away, you're greeted with that LED display, and this is where all of that functionality comes into play with our one adjustment knob here. Rotate to the left if you want to enter standby mode, or bring it all the way down to as low as it can go, in this case 150 degrees Celsius. And press and hold the button for 3 seconds if you want to enter menu mode. And we are in menu mode. So here you can adjust your standby, sleep, boost. You can actually specify the desired tip that you have. In this case, by default, it basically selects all the tips available for the unit. Screensaver timeouts, buzzer sounds, you name it, pretty customizable. I'm not going to go into all of the menus here, but you do have a lot of options with this soldering station. And to get out of that again, just hit it once, and you are good to go. There's 4 types of wake-up modes. The default is vibration, and that's the one that Handskit recommends, but you do have other choices as well. Shake, switch, manual, and back to the auto. So I'll just leave it on auto at this point. And finally, when you're done with your settings, just hold down on the knob, and it brings you back to standard soldering station mode. All right, I think it's time to do
Turning the soldering station on now. It is preset for 280 degrees Celsius. And look how fast that is. Wow, about 550 or so Fahrenheit. Now I'm going to set it up to a whopping 480 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius, rather, sorry. This is an old PCB from a Amprobe multimeter, and that is some old leaded solder. Now look how quickly this is going to burn through that solder, just like butter. Just like, look at that, like butter. No problems going on here. Same thing for actually soldering. Nice, nice, clean. Look at that, just melts. Gorgeous. Yeah, these tips, these T12 tips are awesome. Of course, some little finite soldering going on here. Once again, that needle nose tip, perfect for this type of fine soldering. absolute joy to solder with. This iron is really, really nice. Holds that power true. Oh yeah, that was just too easy. All right, teardown time. Here we go. Wow. Oh, wowzy. Check it out. First thing I noticed when I took off the top is, yeah, that soldering iron holder is solid metal. Nice chunk of solid. That had me a little worried at first. I wasn't sure if, would we putting this into plastic with a little bit of metal holding, but no, it is completely a metal surround. Good stuff. Here we are with that soldering iron input, and look at that. There's the grounding for the unit. The wire itself is a little on the thin side for my liking. And yeah, it's a little bit of flaky in terms of soldering. So ideally, this would be a little bit better gauge. I might even replace that. And look at that. That's a 1.5 mega ohm resistor between the grounding plug and the soldering iron input. And over here, of course, is the brains of the unit. That's the STM32 computer processor, part of the family of 32-bit microcontrollers. 32-bit ARM processor, Cortex, yada yada. Super popular because they're so darn cheap. See that grounding wire over here as well. Once again, it's just, I'm not happy with it. I'm glad it's grounded, but I think it could have been done with maybe a little bit more. It almost looks like an afterthought, doesn't it? It really does. This is the biggest electrolytic in the system here. It's from Ketuo, Ketuo. They're, sort of midline. They're not a super cheap capacitor, and they're definitely not ultra high end, but it's a middle of the road. Hey, it's not going to be a bad performer in the long run. They have pretty good stats thus far. So all of the caps on board here, all the same, all Ketuo. So yeah, it's probably a good thing. And check it out, PQ3220, power transformer, SMPS, step down. You got it, everything there. 50 to 200 watts. And once again, another popular transformer, seeing this quite a bit. Manufactured by Hangtung Electronics, another Chinese vendor. Once again, really good performance with these. Kind of hard to tell, but they have a ferrite core, material grade, and this nice, smooth, yellow-looking stuff. It's called a Meritape. That's what embodies the outside. 0.55 millimeters to be exact. Inside, of course, we've got lots of that copper wire. And yeah, anyway, pretty good manufacturing process. All in all, decent transformer. I'm liking it. Unit is definitely not going to make any noise. Fanless operation. Nice, big, two honkin' big passive heat sinks here. Nice, nice, and nice. In terms of passive heat, we have these vents on the underside of the unit. That's it, no venting on the side, just strictly underneath. Handskit Soldering Station ST12A. Yeah, Shenzhen Hankey Electronics. So there you go. I gotta say, all in all, it's not bad. I'm definitely gonna fix up the grounding wire. But that being said, everything else is pretty hunky-dory. Closing thoughts on the Handskit ST12A Soldering Station. Well, it's okay, but it's not the greatest. But
What a drag not having a soldering iron working out of the box. Had to replace it with a third-party wand, but you know what? I mean, those are replaceable by their nature, so it's not totally a bad thing. That being said, a little bit better Q&A from Handskit would have been appreciated. Now, you may have noticed those holes on the side. That's because there is another version of this. Actually, there's multiple instances, one with a hot air gun as well as a dual soldering iron setup. So sky's the limit with this Handskit unit. That being said, this is the basic model, very basic at its utmost, but that's not always a bad thing. Of course, that T12 series is well proven in the soldering realm. Got that great heat output, and it doesn't take long, under 6 seconds, more like 4 in this case, and that is really, really fast. End of the day, if you're a novice in soldering and you want to get started with something basic but not totally basic, this is a great entry unit. The Handskit ST12A digital soldering station gets a solid 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, let's hope they do a little bit better Q&A and we get those irons the way we want them. By the way, it's Christmas, and I just want to say a big shout out to everybody. Here we got a couple of drinkies. That's mine.
That's mine.
That's Olga's. And we're clicking them and we're saying cheers to everybody out there.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All the best. You know, it's been great having you guys aboard, and 2025 will only be so much better. Any words of wisdom?
Yes, I was about to say that I wish your channel only the prosperity and growth, and I hope that next year you will hit your millennial and be like the amazing year for you.
Aw, thanks, darling. Appreciate it.
I love you.
I love you too. And here's the $100 I promised you for saying that. And as we always say at the end of every review,
yes.
Thanks for watching. Till the next one.
Merry Christmas. Now, keep on testing.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.